So this situation is kind of unfathomable. Oh, Jesus Christ, fathomable, right? I just want you to watch this and I want you to tell me what you would do in this situation. No judges, maybe a little bit judges, but take a look at this video.
Mom, I'm so sorry about that. So sorry. That was totally my mistake.
Okay.
Here's what happened. We thought it'd be a cute little family outing, just 3 of us. Spa, of course. We picked a restaurant that was literally rated the #1 steakhouse in the US. So we were ready. But plot twist, no outdoor seating, meaning no dog. And another twist, walk-ins only seat 2. So my mom and Bao made the sacrifice. They volunteered to wait in the car so our long drive wouldn't be for nothing. Not exactly the bonding moment we pictured. I end up doing laps, cutting up steak into bite-sized pieces, grabbing food from the restaurant and running it back like their personal server. So in the end, my mom got her steak, Bao got a couple bites too, and somehow it turned into this super funny night that we will always remember.
It ended up just being a little date night for Wei and I.
Restaurant, this is wrong. Not.
It's not. I should have called them.
So, okay, let me just read what it says on this video right at the start. It says, my husband ended the night by apologizing to my mum for taking her to a top-rated steakhouse and making her eat in the car. So that situation was, obviously, a couple with the mother and their dog. Oh, that's not my face. Sorry, there's a hair on my face. Going to the steak restaurant because they've obviously seen it online or they read somewhere that it was like one of the best steak restaurants wherever. However, when they get there, apparently there are no dogs. There was no outside seating, which means you can't have a dog. And also walk-ins, so if you haven't made a reservation, is only 2 people maximum, which sounds really weird. That doesn't sound right to me. So what they decided to do was make the mum and the dog wait in the car while they went into a restaurant and ate. Now, I don't care if they were in there for 10 minutes. 15 minutes. If I turned up to a restaurant and everyone I was with couldn't go in, I'll be like, okay, we're going somewhere else. Even if it's a drive-through somewhere else. You can go to that restaurant another time. You don't go somewhere and make somebody wait in the car because they can't get in with the dog. And listen, okay, so me as a dog owner, if I was to take my dogs anywhere, you bet I would be calling ahead if I'm with my dog. Do you allow dogs in? Can you guarantee outside seating? Do you have outside seating for a dog? So we can have a dog if you don't allow them in the restaurant. Also, can we make a reservation? Because 3 of us and a dog are turning up. That's missed. That's like on you for not managing your time right. That's crazy. No, not managing your time right. Not being prepared enough. You're adults. You're adults with a car and a dog. Come on now. And if it's like the best restaurant, the best steak restaurant, surely your brain would be like, hey, so it's going to be busy. But also, if we look at it, I mean, it's completely empty. It's completely empty. And she's like, they volunteered to sit outside. Your dog doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Your dog just wanted to be with you, and now the dog's stuck in the car, watching everyone walk by, waiting for their owners to come back. Yeah, granted, the dog is with someone. So the mum in this situation, the lady who had to wait in the car, did have something to say about this. And she's speaking Chinese, so I'm going to read out the English subtitles for you. So she starts off by saying, hello, everyone. I woke up this morning and saw my daughter crying in her room and asked her what happened. She showed me everyone's messages. First of all, I'm very grateful for everyone's concern for me. Oh, that's cute. I'm 63 years old. 4 years ago, when I was 59 years old, my daughter-in-law, strongly invited me to come to the United States to reunite with them. After arriving here, I live in the same house. Oh, so I think she moved there. All of my expenses, food, board, including my hospital bills, they fixed my teeth, sent me to a language school, and she's saying that her son-in-law and daughter hand in hand taught her how to speak English. That's really cute. Hired a driving coach, taught me how to drive. I already had driver's license. Now every year we're traveling to different places. It makes me happy every day. That's really cute. I feel like sometimes I come to your house to go to college. Even going to elementary school, because I start learning how to speak, so it makes me more fulfilled every day. We haven't had any unhappy moments in the past 4 years. Sorry, the translation is a little bit loose because they must have used like a translating app, and of course when you directly translate without a human telling you the actual translation, it can miss out words and things like that. This makes me feel very grateful and blessed. Then this outing, the one the steak place she's talking about, because we drove for over an hour, my son-in-law suggested we go somewhere else. But we were all hungry. Everyone's hungry. I suggested not changing the place. And I don't like burgers anyway. I never eat hamburger. I haven't had a hamburger in 4 years. Also, I don't know how to order. So I suggested they both go in and eat. Take some time together and I can just go home and eat. Meanwhile, I can walk the dog. But they ran back and forth, my son-in-law and my daughter, between the restaurant and the car so I could eat while I was waiting for them. Every dish they had, they brought out a dish for me. I think it's very interesting. It's fun. It's a different experience for us. Everyone only saw this short video of us for our very special family, and I'm willing and excited to share my family with everyone. So the mum is being very mumsy, I have to say, sticking up for her daughter and saying, listen, I really didn't mind. And I genuinely do believe that she didn't mind. I feel like mums, parents in general, kind of do make those kind of sacrifices, you know? Like, you're in a theme park, everyone wants to go on a ride, but who's going to hold our coats and bags? Mum. I feel like mums make a lot of small sacrifices like that actually are kind of a big deal. So, but then I also don't feel you have to always accept those sacrifices and be like, yeah, our mum says she'll sit in the car and while we eat at this restaurant. Also, again, sorry, you are traveling over and listen, by the way, this isn't that deep really because the mum's fine. The dog's fine. But at the same time, you drove over an hour to eat somewhere that's meant to be the #1 steak restaurant in the US and you didn't make a reservation. I make a reservation for anywhere, even if I don't think it's going to be busy. I just always like to be really prepared. Not saying everyone should be like me, but if it's the #1 steak place, you're driving such a distance. But then I say an hour, and actually an hour to a lot of people who live in the US isn't that long. Whereas in the UK, we're like an hour. There's not 40 minutes away. I don't want to know about it. You know, smaller country, smaller distances, bigger country, bigger distances means they're kind of used to it. That's what I learned from working in the US anyway, when I would ask people how long it took to get to Florida. They'll be like, 5 days. I'll be like, 5 days? They'll be like, yeah, it didn't take that long. I feel like this situation could have been avoided. But also at the same time, then I think of it from a social media standpoint, and I'm like, you thought it was a good idea to post a video about leaving your mum and your dog in a car while you ate at a restaurant. Of course people are going to be like, what are you doing? Of course they are. Everyone has something to say about everything. But listen to this. Okay, watch this one.
Mom, I'm so sorry
Update,
about that.
This isn't exactly an update. It's more of a like, what the fuck is going on? So you remember the situation where the husband and the wife and her mother and the dog, for some reason, go to what they say is the #1 steakhouse in the country. And they go without making a reservation. And when they get there, they find out that they say the restaurant doesn't have a patio. And for walk-ins, they can only accommodate 2. So somehow they arrive at the decision that the mother is going to wait in the car with the dog while the couple eats dinner. People, of course, are, for the most part, largely in disbelief. Like, what do you mean you're going to make your mom wait in the car instead of just, going to a different restaurant? So, of course, people are commenting on the restaurants, like Instagram, like, is this really the policy? Or like, what's going on with this? So people are telling me the restaurant is responding. So I go and I take a look. And the restaurant is responding. And this is what they said. And it's so weird. The wine bar has outdoor dining and allows dogs, and we do allow service dogs in the restaurant. We welcome walk-ins for as many people as we can accommodate. There isn't a cap on how many people can walk in. She very specifically in the video says,
Plot twist, no outdoor seating, meaning no dog. And another twist, walk-ins only seat 2. So
I don't know. I don't think the restaurant would have changed their policies in light of this situation. And if they did, people would know. It only happened like a week ago. People would remember like what the policy was, before that. So are you telling me that the mom and the dog never had to wait in the car? They didn't ever have to wait in the car. They could have just waited for 3 seats to become available, but they decided not to and decided to let the mom wait in the car.
Yeah.
When she didn't have to? That can't be. Could that be? Could somebody really do? I don't know. I don't know what to think. What do you think? What do you think happened? I don't know. Moral of the story, make a fucking reservation. Like, what?
Listen, I'm glad I'm not the only person who's like, why aren't you making a reservation for something like this? That was Sujia. I follow her on TikTok. Is she on Instagram? I don't know. It's just great content. Great, like, karma content, if that makes sense. So maybe there was a mix-up with a misunderstanding, right? Maybe they were like that day, oh, we can only take walk-ins of 2 people at the moment because that's all we have available. But again, from the video, it looks kind of dead. It didn't look very busy. And maybe they thought, the staff were saying, we only accept 2 people walk-ins. But they have outside seating as well. You could have just waited. Most restaurants, they will take your number, send you a little text, or they'll be like, come back in 45 minutes. You can be like, okay, let's go for a little shop. Take the dog on a walk, so the dog's nice and tired when we go in a restaurant, and and they can sit down and relax while we eat. Throw them a bit of steak, whatever, I just think this was a very strange situation where I'm just like, this could have been thought out. And again, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. The mum's fine. The dog's fine. The mum's like, listen, I'm good. But mums will do anything for their kids, If you have to eat steak in a Tesla with a dog, whatever. But I just do think, some preparation, some forward thinking. No, that means being like open-minded, doesn't it? No, some forward thinking, some like, okay, we're going to this really busy place. Let's make a reservation. Let's check they have space for dogs. Okay, they're allowed dogs outside. We'll book a table for 4 outside, please, because it's an hour away and we don't want to waste our time. Imagine sitting in the car for an hour, turning up at the restaurant, and then sitting in the car to eat the dinner, and then sitting in the car for an hour again on the way back. Anyway, let me know your opinions down below. Would you let your mum eat steak in your car? If you turned up at a restaurant and were like, no, sorry, we can't accommodate, would you be like, okay, mum, car, now, we're going to go and eat and then we'll bring you some food in a box? Let me know your thoughts down below. This is just a fun one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.